Hey, welcome to the Business Beauty Network podcast where business meets beauty. I'm your host, Brandy Taylor. Welcome. I'm super excited to have you here. We have an awesome episode in store for you. I've been in this industry for over 16 years, and it is my goal to bring thought provoking conversations from business and beauty professionals to help us grow our business and expand our minds. And as I would say, it's not just lipstick, it's business. So we mixed in a little fun and we drop episodes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can also subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, anywhere that you listen to your podcast as well. So make sure you check us out there and listen to it and subscribe there. Also, click the bell in YouTube so that you don't miss an upload. You also want to make sure that you check out our podcast on our website at businessbeautynetwork.com. You can email us at hello@businessbeautynetwork.com. We are super excited to have you a part of this community. And here is Hey, welcome to the podcast. It's your host, Brandy Taylor. I am super excited. I have a familiar guest here today, Mariah Headquest. Hey, Mariah.
Hey, Brandy. Hey, everybody.
I'm super excited to have you on today, Mariah. So we got to catch up. What's been going on since you've last been on the podcast?
Let's see. I'm trying to think of what month it was when we did our last episode. But I think last time we spoke, I talked about some streamlining some of my strategies inside of the salon just to kind of condense my focus, prioritize so that I balance out my time a little bit better. So that's what I've been focused on. I've been working on some branding slash rebranding, if you will, inside of my suite space, and coaching wise, still prioritizing my one-on-one program and building that out. I actually have a couple of experiences happening here locally in Michigan with some other salon suite groups where I'll be going there and teaching some things and hosting a couple workshops. That's going to be happening this fall. And beyond that, trying not to overload the plate because we are getting closer. I know it's still summertime and it probably sounds crazy for me to be even mentioning holiday season, but it's right around the corner. So, I don't want to put too many things on the plate knowing that holidays are coming, and want to make sure that I have adequate time for my salon space as well. So just getting ready for holiday season and serving hairstylists because that's what we're here to do.
Awesome. I mean, we're halfway through August, so definitely it is a time, especially if you're a business owner, to think about the holidays and that time of the year, because oftentimes many businesses are slower in July, because if you realize, like in July is when all the sales are, everybody having Christmas in July. They're trying to get people to shop because people are on vacation, different things like that, right? And even like in the beauty industry, sometimes people change their hair care and beauty care regimens in the summer, which will fluctuate with the services that they render, which, of course, as a service provider, that can switch up how you get your income. So share with us like how you've been handling like July. How's July been for you? And have you experienced any of that? And, what's your experience with it slowing down in July and all those things?
Well, I suppose I feel very grateful to be able to say I didn't really notice much of a dip when I look at my numbers. The thing that was interesting, though, was the rate of pre-booking. Typically, my clients will pre-book, and it seemed like in June, July, they weren't pre-booking the same way. However, when I look at the numbers, I still was on that same growth trajectory. I think last time I mentioned that my business in the first quarter had grown 30%. I've maintained that. I think we're around 34% growth overall. So still averaging that about 30% growth over last year, even in the slower months. So where people may
what
not
do you
have
think
been,
has contributed to that?
I think having the plan that I made at the beginning of the year and really sticking to it, and quite honestly, knowing that what do I want to use the word, like typically, or what's common in the industry is that we slow down in July, but knowing that that doesn't have to be me, that I can still approach July with the same intentionality as I would November or December. Granted, I wouldn't necessarily expect it to be just like a holiday season, but the mentality behind it, I can still promote and invite clients in and work with the same tenacity as I would during holiday season. And I think that having that mentality driving all of my decisions helped to maintain what was there and grow a little bit more.
That's awesome. I think that is very important to plan that out, because if you know that that's typically how it is in your business, right? Then you should, like, maybe even in May, you should kind of be planning out, okay, the summer's going to be here soon. So let
Mhm.
me kind of figure out like what I need to promote, what I need to shift, and things like that, so that you can prevent having to slow down, because you don't have to. And then, changing your mindset about it. Like,
Yes.
you don't have to slow down. There's so many different things that you can do to continue to thrive even in a slower months, even what was considered to be a slower season. For sure.
Absolutely. Whatever is considered, I mean, industry norms or industry standard don't have to be rules, don't have to become rules for your business. There's always exceptions to every scenario. And I believe that if you decide you want to be an exception, then hey, who's going to stop you but you? So go for it.
Right, right. And that's a big thing, because I was talking to another beauty professional, a fellow coach as well. And we were just talking about the biggest thing when it comes to the beauty industry, because we wonder why people don't, you know, grow as much, or maybe their income, like they stay at a certain income level for a long time. And being that this is a multi-billion-dollar industry, a lot of people struggle with
Hmm.
pricing and different things like that. And part of it is the mindset, like them believing that they can really charge what they truly want to charge, offer quality service, and just really believing in themselves and having a mindset. And so I really love what you teach with your coaching. And I'm super, super excited about your podcast segment. And that's why I wanted to have you on today. So the podcast segment is Elevate with Coach Mariah, empowering and inspiring. And I love that, because I think that's exactly what you're doing. And I want you to kind of share, like, what's your plan for your segment, what they can expect, and things like that.
Yeah. So the intentionality and what I know about myself as a coach and what I know about myself as a person is I'm really a bit of a catalyst in people's lives. I can, through what my clients share with me or on the consultations, I find out what it is that you want to create, and then I help you to build that, because I'm very good at um eliminating the noise so that we can focus on the priorities. And so I feel like that's what I intend to bring to the podcast episode, talking in greater detail about some of those things that become noise in our lives, whether that be personal doubts, whether that be trying to balance work and life, our personal and our professional relationships, some of those inner dialogues that we have that all of us face, but that maybe some of us are afraid to share or don't know how to share, or we feel like we are alone by ourselves and in being challenged by growing and pursuing our own definitions of success. I want to speak to some of those issues. And of course, for me, I would never bring up a topic without offering some solutions and direction. So I plan for things to be actionable at the end of the episodes, just to help the listeners kind of reframe where they are now, give some hope, and open up the door so that you can get a clearer picture of that future. Maybe not the whole staircase, maybe just the next step, and then give some tangible action pieces for people to implement. Because the intention, again, is to serve hairstylists, serve beauty professionals, and to help them continue moving forward. Because if you don't keep going, you don't achieve your goals, you don't achieve your dreams, you don't get beyond where you are now. And if where you are now isn't doing it for you, then we have to take a look at how do we get unstuck. And so that's what I intend to help people do with the episodes.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about that, because I talk a lot about marketing, but um just really your life and everything that embodies who you are is really important. Like your mindset, how you think, your health, all of that really affects your business, right? Because it's all about you. And so I love that you're going to be giving, tips and tangible things that our listeners can do to work on that, and sharing some of your insights as well. So I'm really super excited about that for sure. And we're going to be airing your first episode this Wednesday. So
Woohoo.
I'm super excited about that. So it's going to be every other Wednesday. So tune in on Wednesdays. Mariah's episode is going to be coming out this Wednesday at noon. But I'm super excited. And I think you guys have something in store for you today for sure. On Wednesday for sure when the episode releases. But so I know you have clients and everything, and you've been working with people. What have you found now that in this season that people are, what's a trending theme that people are struggling with or need help with in their business?
I think it always goes back to their self-confidence and those doubts that come up. That would be the core trend among all of the clients because that I have. Their goals are different. Some of them have aspirations that are inside of the industry, whether that be just personal growth behind the chair or becoming educators or, branching into different avenues of the industry. And then others have aspirations that are outside of the industry. Like I want to work and be in my space part-time and then go and explore these other avenues. And so with that, whenever we're doing things that we haven't done before, comes the doubt and the imposter syndrome and the perfectionism and how am I going to do this? Who am I to do this? Kind of running in. That's the trend, is their self-confidence to just go for their big dreams and their big goals, knowing now that it doesn't just happen overnight, that we have to take these things kind of one step at a time. So I help them create that plan, but it always just goes back to their beliefs about themselves, not attaching their ability or the permission slip, so to speak, to what their clients say or what their friends say or their family members or their peers or influencers or whoever, but just really going back to who am I in this industry? Who do I want to be? How do I want to show up? What are my goals like for real? And getting them to the place where they can say, okay, yeah, this is possible for me. I can see how this is possible for me. And I'm going to go and I'm going to pursue it. So it always goes back to self-concept, belief in themselves and their self-confidence.
I get that a lot as well. And it all goes back to the story you tell yourself, right? Like, what are you telling yourself? And that's why, it's interesting because I had wrote an ebook that I was providing for beauty professionals, and it was just affirmations. And I used to post about it. This was probably a couple years ago. And it's still out there. Like you can still get it. The affirmations ebook. It'll be in the show notes if you would like to get it. But what I realize is, your words have power and what you're saying to yourself and what you're thinking. So if you're constantly thinking, that you are not good enough, or you'll never get to this level, and you're constantly worried about things, and you're not speaking life, and you're worried about the things that you don't want, and you start to attract those very things. So it's really powerful what you speak over yourself. So we have to remember to speak life into ourselves every day. Remind yourself of who you are, right? And tell yourself, I am awesome at what I do. I deserve to make, multi-million dollars or whatever I want to make, right? And and money comes to me, and just really start speaking over yourself is really a powerful thing. And I think I even forgot that, in a period in my life. And I was like, I forgot who I was. Let me get back to saying my affirmations. And then even gratitude, write down what you're grateful for and those things. I'm really firm on that. It really works, because when I fall off of that, I notice the difference, right? So that's a big thing too. So I'm so glad you're going to be sharing those things, because it's really it's the whole person, and we have to work on make sure we're empowering ourselves and just being your circle. So what do you think about this? Like, I realized years ago I wanted to go to a certain level, but I was looking at my circle, right? And I was like, yeah, like I need to change my circle. So I started intentionally connecting with certain types of people that were where I was trying to go. And
Mhm.
as I began to do that, I began to learn more, make more connections and grow and different things like that. And I think again, I had to kind of look at my circle, and I had just kind of realized like, yeah, that is really powerful. Like the people that you connect yourself with, you have to really be careful about that as well.
Yeah.
Who you surround yourself with. Sometimes it's not, it's about who you know and who you're connected to. So if you get connected to the right people, it could really take you to the next level, but you have to be ready for that as well.
Oh yeah,
Make sure you're
absolutely.
ready for that too. But
Absolutely.
it's a big thing. But I just thought about that too. I looked at my circle again more recently. I was like, okay, yeah, I need to make some shifts again.
Yeah, because when you think about that dynamic, like what's really happening there, the people that you surround yourself with, they're influencing where your attention goes. And so if you are surrounding yourself with people who are constantly drawing your attention to the problems but never solutions, or drawing your attention to things that could, all the ways that something could go wrong, but not a single way that something could go right. And if they're always drawing your attention to how you used to be and who you used to or who you used to be, how you used to talk, how you used to show up, versus seeing you through the lens of who you are now and who it is that you want to be, and like agreeing with you on that and supporting you and becoming that version of yourself, then they're going to influence your attention away from what it is that you're trying to create. And so I think that is really important. I think there's a quote that's out there. I don't know who said it, but it's like the five people around you are the sum total, like make up who you are, or something
Hmm.
along those lines. So that kind of gives you a glimpse of yourself and the type of energy or personalities that you surround yourself with. And so I think in when it comes to securing your vision and then protecting that thing kind of at all costs, who you allow in your most vulnerable spaces and to have proximity to you does matter. And it's not a worth or value thing, because humans are inherently valuable. They're valuable because they are alive and they're human beings. But the level of influence we allow people to have, everybody doesn't get to have a front row seat. Everybody doesn't get to be in the VIP section. Some people have to, sit in the nosebleeds for a little bit, because
Hmm.
we have to stay focused. Because as entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship is like one of the craziest things you could ever do in your life. I
Definitely,
mean,
right?
it's exciting, but it's crazy and it's not easy. It's doable and it's so rewarding. But it doesn't come without its challenges. And so if you have people that just don't get it, um, it's always easy to not do a hard thing. It's always easy to take the path of least resistance, but your goal is on the other side of that path of resistance. So you want people around you that's going to keep you focused on that and support you through that and help you get there. So it definitely makes a difference. To your point, it makes a huge difference.
Hmm. Yeah, it definitely does. And that's why it's you were just telling me like you recently invested in some coaching and everything. And I truly believe in that. Like it's really important to invest in ourselves because how can I say I'm a coach and I don't invest in it or believe in it myself? Like that would just
Right.
not be but it changed the game for me. And I still have a coach to this day. And because I truly believe in that. And that's something that I think more people in the beauty industry should look into is getting coaching. Because sometimes you can, get stuck and you can get yourself but so far. And maybe eventually you'll get there, but maybe if you connect with a coach that can help you get there faster, right? And help
Right.
you get through some of that stuff that you got going on, then you don't have to wait 10 years to get there. You know what I mean? You can
Right.
like start getting
That's a
there
good
now.
point.
So
That's a good point. Because to think about it this way, one of the big reasons people don't want to invest in coaching, one is maybe they don't understand what an investment is. You invest with the expectation of a return. This isn't just like frivolously spending money on something that is perishable and going away. You would do your due diligence and choose someone that you think is going to help you create the result that you want to create you invest in that with the expectation of getting a return, because you think by not investing that there's no cost associated with it because you haven't spent any money. But there's actually a greater cost associated with it because of all the money that you could have made in that period of time that you were trying to figure out how to do it by yourself. Think about it. You might have figured out the process 10 years down the line, but 10 years ago, you could have been making money had you invested in that person. You could have been living in that result and had 10 years under your belt, but now you're just getting started. So there is a greater cost associated with it. And associated with just trying to piece it together and do it on your own versus paying for the convenience of someone already having the plan, the structure, and the framework put together. And now you just get to go and take the actions that they're telling you to take with the expectation of a return.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And so I think it's very important that more people look into that because I just wanted to share my experiences. There I think it's certain things, leaps that I've taken that if it hadn't been for my coach really pushing me to take them, I don't think I would have done it at this point, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can be very helpful and to invest not even just like in coaching, but investing in more education, like if you're a stylist, gaining more, taking more classes, learning advanced skills. All of that is investing in you. So getting coaching, getting advanced skills, always staying on top of things. I've been trying like marketing, man. It's stuff change every day. I'm like, dang, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I have to constantly like take different certifications, update different things, learn about things, study different trends, because it's just constantly changing. And therefore, that's the same thing in the industry. You'll get left behind.
yes,
So that another thing is investing in, more education and always bettering yourself and always learning more. We should always be educating ourselves, always be getting more education for sure.
yes, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, but it's been great talking to you today. I'm so excited. I just really wanted to bring you on to share about Elevate with Mariah, empowering inspirations. I really wanted to share about that. Make sure that you subscribe to the podcast. Make sure that you tune in every Monday and Wednesdays too, to every other Wednesday to check out Mariah's episode. And Mariah, do you have anything else you want to share with us before we go?
Um, Nothing besides tune in, and I'm excited to support more professionals with these insights that I have to offer.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, Mariah, it's been great having you. Make sure that you tune in on Wednesday and you're subscribed to the Business Beauty Network podcast. You can catch our episodes on YouTube and on Apple, Spotify, and many more. So just look it up, Business Beauty Network. As always, stay great, and we're out. Bye. Hey, hey, welcome to the Business Beauty Network podcast where business meets beauty. I'm your host, Brandy Taylor. Welcome, welcome. I'm super, super excited to have you here. We have an awesome episode in store for you. I've been in this industry for over 16 years, and it is my goal to bring thought provoking conversations from business and beauty professionals to help us grow our business and expand our minds. And as I would say, it's not just lipstick, it's business. So we mixed in a little fun and we drop episodes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can also subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, anywhere that you listen to your podcast as well. So make sure you check us out there and listen to it and subscribe there. Also, click the bell in YouTube so that you don't miss an upload. You also want to make sure that you check out our podcast on our website at businessbeautynetwork.com. You can email us at hello@businessbeautynetwork.com. We are super excited to have you a part of this community.